All right. So, just a quick description of what I see as one of the most basic crypto portfolios is my brother was asking me, "Oh, you're getting into all this crypto," and I was like, "Yeah." And I actually helped him build a stock portfolio, which did quite well.
So you've got some credibility.
I do have a little Wall Street cred, you know. But yeah, I did pretty well after the crash in '08 and bought in when it was low, which is what gets me excited about crypto at certain times when it gets low and I'm like, okay, get on the upstreak. So he basically said, he's like, hey, here's some cash. It was a decent amount, nothing ridiculous, but nothing too small. And he was like, hey, go ahead and buy whatever basic you think I should have. So I don't want to be day trading on his behalf or buying anything super risky.
He's
So
he's not paying you enough to pay
yeah,
that close of attention to it.
I know. I'm not gonna take that cut, but so I just wanted to buy him some basic ones. Obviously I took the entire chunk of change he gave me, and I basically bought 33% of just Bitcoin to sit on that, and then 33% of Ethereum, and then I took 16.5% or so of Stellar Lumens, and then 16.5% of what's called Cardano, because I just figured those were ones that I see coming up in the future that, again, we've mentioned before, but Bitcoin's not just going to go away. There's a little bit of a crash
Right.
right now. It's not going to bottom out. There's no reason for it to. There's too much global interest. Ethereum has too much promise for the future as far as their projects in general. And then some of the things that were built off of this technology as well. Stellar Lumens was one, and then Cardano was the other, and those are more long term. So this is literally I bought those things for him, then took those coins, put it in a wallet, and it's literally just separate for him. So, well, a couple different wallets, obviously, because you can't merge those all. But yeah, that's a set it and forget it mentality. And then, if the market happens to go crazy, I might go in and, sell one that I think is like, okay, maybe you don't need to hold on to this for now, cash this one out, and then maybe reinvest it somewhere else that I think is a long term set it and forget it mentality.
Yeah, and I mean long term, Cardano I think is the definition of long term.
Yeah.
It's like really ambitious project, really impressive, super serious team, but their roadmap is like years, down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and and they're building everything from scratch. It sounded earlier like you had said it was built on Ethereum, but they're like a whole cloth clean project starting from scratch.
No, yeah, I was just saying built on blockchain technology. You're right.
Right, right.
Not to fudge the lines there. Yes.
Yeah, and
So.
in fact, like people have kind of identified three generations where like Bitcoin is the first gen, where it's just
Mm-hmm.
the proof of concept that blockchain, is actually a thing, that it works, that the cryptographic securities, mean that like you can't double spend, your coins and nobody can
Mm-hmm.
steal them from you if you've managed your private keys correctly. It's unhackable if everything's done properly. And then second generation is Ethereum, which
Mm-hmm.
is kind of spawning more projects from its platform. And then especially Cardano, it's talked about as a third generation crypto, where it's learning from some of the issues that have plagued Ethereum, which itself learned from all the issues that kind of plagued Bitcoin, and so like every generation gets more and more improved. But yeah, so you said long term. What time frame do you think you're talking about? And is the time frame the same for all those investments, or do you think there are going to be off ramps along the way?
No, I actually did keep them simple enough. Like I didn't want to buy him, fractions of these possibly risky coins that are worth less than a penny right now, or even an ICO. I didn't want to have to. It's also some of the larger holdings in my personal portfolio, just so I have my finger on the pulse. So if I see something moving and shaking, and I'm like, oh, here's it's moving now, but maybe I want to just get out of this one for the time being, and then see where it's at, see if I want to get back in. I'm going to do it for me and for my brother's portfolio as well. So it's going to be something that, and if you're talking about time frame, it's going to be different for each one. It's time's going to tell if Ethereum overtakes Bitcoin. It might be time
It
and
will.
Bitcoin, yeah,
It
when
will.
Ethereum takes over Bitcoin. Good prediction, by the way. But yeah, at that point, maybe Bitcoin's worth 30K per coin or whatever, even 50K per coin before this is realized. Then I would like to be like, okay, well, I'm going to get my brother's holdings out of Bitcoin right there. Ethereum, I'll let it ride and maybe put his Ethereum into some other, or his Bitcoin cash out into some other promising project to see if it can still keep growing. And I'll ask him if he wants to cash out any of that to USD. So, because I'm not
Okay.
paying his taxes on it either, so I might have to take out a portion to make sure that gets covered. So,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. And then is he thinking this is like a single time deal, or is he going to keep injecting more into it over time, or is he just going to kind of play it by ear?
He's going to play it by ear. I mean, I did pretty well with him in the stock market, and as I did better, he was like, hey, here's more money.
Sure.
Hey, here's
Yeah.
more money. And again, I kept doing well with, my good technology picks and everything. So if this starts to do well, he'll be like, hey, here's more money. Hey, here's more money. He wants to invest his money, but he doesn't really dig too deep into a lot of the research sometimes. So
Sure.
you know, like I said, I built that trust with some success so far, and I already told him some of the warnings, and I said, well, hey, listen, this is risky. This is the wild west of basically stock trading right now, and I said, don't invest anything you're not willing to lose, and he goes, okay. So he gave me a modest amount. Again, wasn't nothing, but it was not money that people want to lose. But hopefully he put his trust in me, and I won't let him down.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I know you guys, I know you're close. But what do you think? Like, picture that moment where his little portfolio has gone to basically zero or nearly zero, right? Like some
Mm-hmm.
crypto catastrophe happened, and basically it's clear that it's a total loss. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the next time you see him, what what is that conversation like? What is he gonna do? Does he like give you like a light punch in the gut and then hug you? What happens then?
Well, definitely what I've made him in the stock market overshadows what he's invested to potentially
Okay.
lose. So
Okay.
I could totally call it a scrub, but I would literally go up and I would have to tell him, and be like, bro, it went bad, went real bad. You're at zero and I'm at zero, and I'm about 5 times deeper in than you are. So, and he'd be like, oh man, that sucks. I hope you're okay. And then I'll cry.
All right, well that's good. That's good. So
Yeah.
basically you'll take it harder than he will.
I certainly will. Yeah, he's again. It's we're keeping it modest with him because I'm going into this with a little more optimism, but still uncertainty, and obviously bigger risk, taking a bigger financial risk, and I wanted to keep his investment, even if he threw the same amount of money I invested at me. He's like, "Here, invest this." I'd be like, "Okay, now I'm
Yeah.
going to get a little
Yeah.
concerned about it because I feel like I'm testing the waters. I'm dipping, a leg in the water when he's got, a couple toes.
Right.
So yeah,
And
so
I'd be scared too, because it's one thing to risk my own money and I'll
hmm
live with the consequences of it. But yeah, I have a very low threshold for gambling with other people's money. Even it's
yeah.
almost worse when they have complete faith in you because it's like I trust you. I know you'll do your best. I'm like, yeah, but if I lose for you, that's just like I don't know, somehow it's even worse. That like you lost because you put your faith in me.
Yeah, it's
Where it's
true.
like, damn it, why didn't you just do the research yourself and make your own decisions? I'd rather have, I don't want
Yeah.
it, on my head that way.
Yeah, and I mean, when what he put in the stock market, I mean, like I said, he put in some money. I did well. He put in some more, but I'm about ready to cash out of the stock market just because I feel like it's going too high too fast. That's my
Yeah.
own thing. But that's also going to be my strategy with certain cryptos that if I see it's going skyrocketing up to way too fast, I'm like, okay, well, you get out on the way up because getting out on the way down in crypto is a lot harder than stocks. You
Right.
can't just hit the button and go sell.
Right.
Doesn't work that way.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right. So, your brother is fully aware of the risks and obviously trusts you
Hmm.
as not only his financial advisor, but his like financial e- executor. I mean, you're actively
Yeah.
managing his portfolio. But
I've got a power of attorney of his money, mainly because he just gives me money.
which
But I
is
always allocate it for
fine,
him.
which
Yeah,
is fine for family, but now let's get the very necessary disclaimer for everybody watching this.
absolutely. This is not financial advice. It is not investment advice. We are not crypto professionals. Exactly the opposite. We are learning about crypto and we want to share what we're learning with people who are still trying to learn about it as well. There are a lot of people that are a lot more savvy than us. Don't take financial advice from them either, only from a financial professional if you wanted to actually get true advice. Uh, Invest smartly, only invest what you want to lose. Keep your stuff off of the exchanges and keep it in paper wallets if at all possible, and don't keep it on your phone. That's my tips. That's the advice I will drop on you.
All
Yeah.
right, awesome. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely, guys. Stay sane out there.